You wanted it, we're talking about it. Hi there, I'm Nikki, the Angry Alchemist, back with another in a series of videos that'll probably tick some people off, I would say. My last one, feel free to check that out. That's Death, Witchcraft, Necromancy, and how to team up with the dead to get your magic done. Now we're going to talk about cursing people. Yay! And this isn't clickbait. This is actually not, how do you want to curse people? Uh-oh, I'm going to go into anti-cursing rant. I'm pro-curse. I also have a video I will link down below about reversals and breaking curses. Because that's fair, right? Alright, so first and foremost, I think it's important to form your opinion on cursing. Pro-cursing, anti-cursing, under what circumstances is cursing okay? I mean, rattle it around in your brain, do some research, and really grapple it down. But I would like to give you some thinking points for your own formation of morals, right? In my experience, witches are creatures of justice. Any way you try to cut it. We try to make the world more fair. Whether that's increasing opportunities, attracting positivity in an inherently negative world, at times it can feel like a lot of witches consider themselves creatures of justice. And witches are probably pretty damn persecuted, I would say. I think just this week, a woman in the Indonesian area was beaten to death for being a witch, and I don't even think she was one, so I'm over here with like an altar being like, whew, thank you, I live here. I think that's the only time this year I've been happy I lived in America. But that aside, let's talk about it, okay? So, Baba Funk, I think is his name. I heard him on a podcast one time say cursing is a lot less heinous than a love spell. And I will do a whole video on magic and consent. If that's y'all's thing, we can talk about it, right? But you are not taking away anyone's free will by cursing them. You're just not. Doing a specific love spell targeted at a person to make them do things they normally wouldn't do is violating someone's consent, and that is way more harmful and baneful than a curse. I would much rather be in a room full of people that curse than in a room with one person that does a love spell. Sorry, that's me. Now, Baba Funk also said, I'm sorry, my cat is making noise in the background as always, but I'll have a surprise for you guys at the end of the video. How about that? And that aside, Baba Funk said, if you were throwing a softball at my face, maybe a baseball, I forget what he used in the analogy, to break my face, and that was what you wanted to do, and I brought someone in who had a bat, and they hit the baseball back at you, whose fault would it be that your teeth were broken? Think about that for a second. Curses very rarely, if ever, are 100% made up of the caster's energy. The art and the little secret slither behind curses is to take the animosity someone aims at you or your client, fling it back at them. All you're getting is your own stuff. Maybe we amplify it when we hit it with our baseball bat. Maybe you throw it at 5 miles an hour, it comes back at you at 30, but either way, it's your baseball, right? That being said, I don't think there's anything wrong with amping it up. For example, a lot of people would consider an ex breaking your door, trying to get to you, not as bad as being in a car accident, having your leg broken, losing your job, and having to go on government benefits. I don't feel bad casting a curse that makes that happen when you broke my girlfriend's door trying to get to her to beat her. You deserve it, right? And now that brings up the question of karma. Some people, and myself included, used to say witches are agents of karma, blah blah blah. But honestly, it's incredibly ignorant to even speak the word karma unless you've studied it. I don't want to hear that from anybody. You don't get to say that, because karma is much bigger and more complex than karma's a bitch, tit for tat, eye for an eye. That's not karma. Karmatic law and everything that's a part of that culture is so intense and intricate to each other, and based around reincarnation, and it's just not okay to use that. So unless you have studied it and you know the full law of karma and you can handle someone coming at you and quizzing you about that shit, don't use the word. Unless you're explaining not to use the word like I am. Because it's unfair and it perpetuates this really negative stereotype and super simplistic belief of that culture. It's kind of like having a Buddhist head. A lot of people don't know having a Buddhist head is incredibly disrespectful, because where the fuck you think them white people got them heads? Right? They cut them off Buddhas and brought them back as trophies, and they're not actually Buddhists. Yeah. So, back to cursing. I am gonna take a quick second, grab my little jar, grab my notes, and I will start throwing up on the screen cursing correspondences. Because go ahead and pause it if you see something that catches your eye. You can do that. That's fine. I don't want to make a 45-minute video talking about this. So cursing. Now, there are several ways. You can do a petition paper. Petition papers are very simple. Brown paper bag, ink. That's all you need. I will link down below Miss Avy's channel from Hoodoo Delish. She is amazing for this kind of material. Now, she will go and break down what a petition paper is and how to use one. Now, there is also different symbolisms, as you saw from the correspondences, but I want to talk about methods for cursing. One of my favorite ones for a light, don't fuck with me bitch, is a jar. Now, I think this is from Hobby Lobby for like $2, but this one I used black sealing wax on. I put charcoal, cayenne pepper, black salt, and a photo. A basic spell has a method, a activation, a failsafe, and a tag lock. So your method, it can be scratching, burning, submerging, which scratching is good for causing physical pain. You can impale for that kind of thing. Submerging is good for anxiety, banishing, feeling depressed, those sorts of things. Burning is good for banishing. You want them gone, right? Abandoning is an underestimated one. That's one of my favorites, where you leave it at a crossroads or you abandon it in the woods, and you can stuff a poppet with raw meat, for example, and a picture of your target, and as happenstance will have it, the doll will get torn apart in the woods. And that leads to feelings of isolation, loneliness, things like that, which is a favorite for abusers because it really sets in. You can set the intention that people will find out about what happened and then start ripping into them. And, honestly, I hide them at places where I know there's dogs, like wild dogs. I've even used dog food and left one at a dog park, which worked really well. And almost immediately I saw it coming out and then going in on this guy on Facebook. So that's popular. You can do the crossroads to inhibit decision making. There is, let's see, I'm trying to think these through. You know what, if you can't decide, you can write a petition paper for what you want to happen, anoint that, place it under a figure candle that you baptize as that person. Once again, check out Hoodoo Delish. Miss Avy has a wonderful video on baptizing figure candles, and you can be like super fucking specific, right? So the jar curse, you can add any incantation, theme music. Personally, I like to tie a curse to a song. That way, anytime I or the target hear that song, the curse is re-empowered. Good ones are Bad Moon Rising by Creedence Clearwater Revival, Seven Devils by Florence and the Machine, Igniter by Butcher Babies. What are some ones? What was the song from Twilight? Like Eyes on Fire, I think was one. That's a good one. Songs like that. And I'm sure when I see songs like that and I throw out some references, some stuff comes to mind for you guys. Run with that. Now, this is probably one of the simplest, innocent, most innocuous little forms of magic for cursing. I personally like to give it a shake whenever the person annoys me. Now, another secret ingredient is flying devil oil, which I have right here. Flying devil oil. This is everything hot and spicy I can find, some piss, vinegar, and oil. And that's it. And it will burn me. I have to use gloves. Oh, lost the cap. God, it's strong. I have to use gloves, but this little thing right here, especially when anointing a petition paper, flying devil oil, great. You can also make a variation on this for protection called black cat oil, with hair from a black cat, spicy stuff, glitter to obscure anything out to harm you. Good stuff, good oil, right? Flying devil oil, I made a whole bunch of it, and as you can see, for the sake of me and my friends, it's been used a lot. Now, I referenced petition papers earlier, and I will show you one of mine. This is actually one for a curse. It has been working for a while. I keep it by my altar, I heat it up with candles, I charge it. My petition paper that I'm currently working. Another thing you can make, if you don't have access to the stuff for flying devil oil, is essentially the spiciest salt you've ever seen in your fucking life, and it is fire salt. Now, fire salt, mine is cayenne, habanero, dried Thai chili, dried ghost pepper, sulfur, sea salt, and that's enough. I think, you know what? I actually think I put chili powder and like regular chili powder in it, and I think I put something else. I can't remember if I broke open like a smelling salt for the ammonia. It works, right? Let's see, I think that's about it that I have handy to go over with you guys, but I will tell you the strongest curse I have heard of and the strongest curse I have ever done. Now, it's a little spooky, right? Ooh. But I actually made a curse. Well, I'll tell you about the other one first. Sorry. The strongest curse I ever heard of was called the Big Fucking Candle. And it's super simple. They went to Hobby Lobby or Michael's, one of those stores, and you know how they sell the huge candles? This girl has this candle. She will take it out, put it in her living room, and her clients will talk to it and tell them what the abuser's done, what they want them to lose in their life, what the consequences should be. They write a very small petition paper, probably that big. This bitch takes a wine cork screw, embeds it, and burns it, like melts it into the candle and fills the hole. So this big fucking candle has probably 40 abusers, child molesters, rapists, thieves, horrible stuff in it. She wraps it in tinfoil and keeps it like, I think she keeps it outside. She kept it on her fridge for a little while, I think, but that didn't work out. So, yeah, I might be mixing up stories here. But she lights it and just does a petition for justice. And for get the damage you've caused. And I think she keeps like a running like stalker record of what's happened to these people, and it's impressive. And she's had this candle for like 3 years. It's probably a $50 candle. But holy fuck, that made me like get chills. I was like, you are my hero, right? Now the strongest one I have done, I did reference in my Death Witchcraft video, which I will link below, and I do grave tending and I work with the dead. No big surprise there if you watch my channel. But there's a graveyard I work in. I'm very close to the spirits there, and I felt like something bad was coming. I felt targeted. You know what I mean? Like, So I made a poppet, and I took bat's blood ink and I wrote a petition, and I put it in the poppet with little slugs and things like that that I could find. I left like a little hole for them to go in and out, and I put raw bacon in it to attract bugs and stuff, and broken glass, all the goodies that you saw in this video. And the petition said something along the lines of, may anyone who harms my family or means ill intent for me, my son, or at the time it was my boyfriend, suffer these ailments. And I've been tending the graveyard for a while, so I set all these fail-safes to where the spirits would be able to not be banished, they would be able to feed off of my energy to carry out the hauntings, attacks, and defensive maneuvers on this person, and that it would create an endless cycle of them wanting to harm me, goes directly against any cleansing they do. Basically, until you stop thinking about me, you will have unrelenting terrible shit happen to you. Because as soon as you think about me, it's gonna undo any, you can pay to have somebody remove this, but the hooks are set in so deep that you reset it anytime you think about it. And I had a list of very specific things. I'm talking skin conditions, hair conditions, living quarter things, hugely specific things that would happen to this person, their appearance and their home and their friends, that they would lose their friends over this and everything like that. So I was like, there's no way. It's kind of like in Practical Magic when she casts the little love spell and she's like, he'll have 2 different color eyes and his favorite shape will be a star and all this other shit, and she's like, there's no way this person could exist. 2 weeks later, 2 weeks, you see that? 2 weeks later, this bitch that I'd never really liked, and like, I'm the type of person, if I see somebody being like bullshitty, I'll call them on the bullshit. So I don't want to say like I have problems with a lot of people, but I'm painfully honest. And like, I'm the kind of person, if you call somebody around me harassing them, I'll take the phone, right? Like, I'm not gonna name names, but someone that my ex had been with tried to call him and like text him a bunch, and they tried to call him at like 1 a.m. and we were in bed together, like just had sex. And I was like, bitch, he's not gonna answer the phone, we just fucked. Can I help you? And that made that person really mad. And I think I made an enemy for life doing that, but at the same time, like, I'm not wrong. So anyways, this stuff starts happening to this person's appearance. I'm not kidding you. Their house has the very specific thing that I put in to happen. They start telling people that we're mutual friends with that they're waking up with scratches, stuff's going missing, they're having these horrible nightmares, they are seeing apparitions in their house, and so on and so forth. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I just hit the baseball. There would have been no baseball to hit if she hadn't tried to pitch in my field. Does that make sense? Yeah, so if you don't want a baseball coming at your face, don't throw baseballs at other people's faces, because some people have the bat. And that's my opinion on cursing. So I hope through this video and through the references I've shown and linked, you guys will be able to perform your own curses to protect yourself, your family, your friends, and your loved ones, and to bring bastards to justice. So, also, if you feel like you have something you can't handle, I do recommend Miss Avie. from Hoodoo Delish. And I also recommend Jacqueline Cherie of the Nephilim Rising. They're both very experienced. Jacqueline comes from a more psychic perspective, and Miss Avie comes from a hoodoo tradition. So both of them, they can fix you up. Let's see. I also will do work on consideration. Feel free to reach out to me on Instagram, and we can talk there. So it's the Angry Alchemist on Instagram. You can DM me. I'll get back to you. I love to help people out and do this kind of work. So what's your opinion on cursing now after watching the video? And what curses have you done? Do you feel comfortable sharing that? Would you want to see specific workings and watch me do them? Or is it enough doing these little like chats where I paraphrase what happened? Let me know. We can do some magic together. Thank you guys for being so beautiful. And if you hang on for 1 second, I have a surprise. So here's my surprise. However, it's not the graham cracker. We adopted a new pet, as you know. We have Dolly, and now we have Ellie. Ellie is my female Rex rabbit, and she's a free roam house rabbit. We rabbit proofed our house, and she is so perfect. I love her to death. Now, would you guys like a video of using your pets in magic? It's a little bit of a different topic, but not gonna lie. Now, as most of you know, we did have a dog named Richter, and I would reference him in my videos. We fostered a beagle for a while that we thought we were gonna end up keeping, but he really missed his old home. He actually ran away to try to go there, so he's back with his old family and his old foster family. My mom had her house broken into, and she lived on like a 7-acre farm, and Richter just wasn't happy at our house, and at the time I was working and he was kenneled, and my mom actually said, I feel bad for your dog, can I have him? And we take him to the dog park and we let him out every day, but he is a guardian of pigs and chickens now at my mom's house, and if you follow me on Instagram, you will see me out there sometimes. But this is Ellie, Miss Elvira. So we have Elvira and Black Dahlia, who are our pets, and she is a black Rex rabbit. We did get her from a breeder who is retiring, and she was one of the last bunnies she had because nobody wanted the black bunny. And the symbolism of bunnies is just so pure, and we are about to have a baby, and I feel like this is a much better alternative to having a large dog around the house than a baby. And she is perfect and quiet, and she's not mischievous. She uses a litter box. She has free run of the house, and she is so precious. So this is Ellie, or Elvira, which might have something to do with her large dewlap, which happens to look like breasts. So here's the little surprise for everybody. It was a bunny. But yeah, let me know if you want to see that video on using your pets in magic. As always, thanks for all the magic, and love you guys bunches. Hey everyone, be sure to go ahead and click that subscribe button. That way you can get alerts when I post, and we can all stay in touch.